Today we're swapping out this Intex pump. We've had it on the pool for 6 years. It's time for an upgrade. We're going to swap in a 2-speed pump from Hayward. I mentioned we're going to keep the sand filter. We're just going to swap out the pump, and I'm going to remove the pump from this little pedestal that it sits on. We're actually going to mount a piece of decking material on top of this, and then we'll sit the new pump on top of it. So we got the old pump off. I'm going to keep this base plate that locks in with the sand filter, and I retrieved this piece from the old pump that I'm going to use as a template. It will actually allow me, when I cut my piece of all-weather decking, I'm going to use the holes in this as a template, and I'll be able to screw my new piece of decking into the base plate for the old pump. Okay, so we got most of the way through. We just got to flip it around, cut it from the other side. So we've got the new platform with the all-weather decking attached to the old mounting location. So here's the new pump kind of in position. You can see down here we've got 2 speeds, a low and a high. I'm going to have to replumb the line that's coming out of the skimmer because the intake sits higher. That'll be pretty easy. So to adapt the Hayward pump to the Intex line, I've got this conversion part from Game. It actually converts a 1.5 inch standard plumbing to the 40 millimeter on this on the left hand side, which is the Intex kind of non-standard size. There's an O-ring on the part that will go down into the pump. We'll put some Teflon tape in there, and we'll use that on this end right here so that we can use the old flexible pipe between these two. And then on this end we'll do all 1.5 inch PVC. So here's our adapter. I've got some Teflon tape on there. I'm just going to thread that in. Try and get it super tight. And on the bottom end of it there's actually an O-ring. You can see the O-ring down there at the bottom. A little Teflon tape sneaking out. But that's pretty tight. I don't think that's going to leak. So here you can see I've used that adapter to adapt this flexible Intex hose from the pump into the sand filter. So that's good to go. The inside of both of these, the output and the input, is threaded for 1.5 inch plumbing. So I'm going to thread this in nice and tight. I've got some thread tape on there. It should make a nice, good seal. I've heard that these ones can leak a little bit even though they've got a built-in O-ring. I think maybe the sun beating down on them maybe causes them to distort a little bit and they leak. So I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to kind of make some measurements for where my shutoff comes down, and then I'm going to have an elbow at the bottom. At the top I'll have just a smooth connector that goes into my flexible pipe. This is just so that when the pool is moving, there's some flex in my plumbing so nothing cracks. So this is the smooth connector that I'm using to connect my plumbing up to that flexible pipe, flexible hose. I'll leave a link in the description. It's a Hayward part. Last step is I'm going to fasten the pump to this platform. I'm going to drill a couple holes, just 2 holes diagonally, one here at this corner, one on the front left corner. So I'm just going to make a couple marks where I want those holes to be, and then I'll drill them. A nice hole here, and then on this side we got a hole in this corner over here. So let's bolt it down. It's tight enough. So I would consider that fully installed. We've now flushed out all the air. There's a couple tiny bubbles in there. That is sucking a lot of water. We're running on a low speed. Here it's pretty quiet. Kind of a nice maintenance level for the pump, just to run kind of nice and easy and just cycle through the water.